Men hate when I talk about how supportive my husband is of me and my career because it lets the cat out of the bag, y'all. So I love that we did this photo shoot yesterday. If you want to see more of that, just click the link down here. It was a big deal. It took us months to get to this moment. I stupidly had no idea how much goes into a photo shoot. Lots of money, lots of time, lots of labor, lots of emotional labor. Guess who did most of that? A man. As much as I cringe at being like, my husband, blah, because I don't want to be bragging or whatever. I don't want to make people feel bad if they're in a bad relationship. The reason why I do videos like this, one is because I know I talk a lot of crap about men. I think it's important to give hope that it's not that, men are incapable and we should just accept all this BS for the rest of our lives and die from autoimmune diseases and all these things because, men just can't do it. Men can do it. Some of my mutuals on this app have showed me that. Some of my friends in real life have shown me that. Until I met the partners of some of my close friends, I was like, whatever, men are stupid. Women are crazy. Men are stupid. Men are not stupid. You know that, right? If they're so stupid, why do they still have all the power? If they're so stupid, why are women why does Bridezillas exist? We are the prize. And yet they're still have somehow convinced us that we gotta get married, right? Despite it usually not benefiting us at all. Unless that man is interested in tapping out of patriarchy, which is an ongoing thing. He's interested in women being human beings. He's interested in us having just as much power and say in things as they do. Like humans. But a lot of men don't want to do that. They just want the power so bad. So they've got us looking like fools, being like, oh my God, I finally got a ring. Even though I waited 8 years. And he seems to kind of hate me. And then he's going to smash cake in my face on the wedding day to just give me one last, maybe do this. And so what I like to do is show that, men are capable of being very loving and supporting. They can be so emotionally intelligent. They can do emotional labor. They can be thoughtful and plan out all this stuff. You know what? They could actually do all of the Christmas magic if only they had to. Why would they when women do it? Most men don't want to do anything unless they have to. So I like to show, because I am eternally grateful to the women who had a very high standard for themselves, who stopped letting men treat them like crap. And they ended up, and again, the goal is not to find a man. Please decenter men. The point of this is to hopefully stop believing that men are incapable of this and hold out for someone who will make your life better, make your life easier instead of harder, who will watch you in a photo shoot and pep you up and hold the chair that you're afraid is going to fall over. Look at my claw. And come to the dressing room and hold the thing so you don't get makeup on your clothes because you don't think about it because you never wear makeup. I just want to tell you some of the stuff that he did so that people know men can do this. And I'm going to give you another reason why I felt this is a really important video to make. So, for starter, all of the emails between the photographer and me, my husband wrote, this is a really important relationship. It's important that there's no misunderstanding. It's not like Google Translate. I was literally like, okay, these are the things I want to say. I send bullet points. And then he would spend a lot of time crafting an email that really said what we wanted, but being professional, but not giving too much and not overloading it. That's a lot of emotional labor in terms of how to communicate what your wife wants in a way that's really direct and thoughtful and kind, whatever. He did all that. This was multiple emails over a period of a month. He was the one who helped me figure out what outfits I wanted to wear. I had to go try on the clothes. He helped me go through my stuff. He helped me talk to a woman who's been helping us figure out this kind of stuff. He would explain to her who I am. One of the reasons why I wanted a disco ball in this photo shoot because when we first started dating, I told him I was working on a book proposal and I was almost done with the book proposal, but I had to write about the author. And I was like, I don't know. It's really hard to write about yourself. I always suggest that you have someone who knows you and loves you a lot to help you write it. And so I was just talking on the phone with him and he was like, oh my God, babe. And he just went, you're like this and this and this and la 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 la. He's the one who called me Tornado Rainbow. A mess, chaos, but a beautiful mess. It was color everywhere I go. He called me a disco ball. He was like, you're like this, you reflect light everywhere. You bring light and you reflect it all around you, but you're also like a mirror that when you're with people, you reflect back at them a part of themselves and they can see themselves because of your stories. And I was like, oh my God, that's all I've ever wanted to do. He was like, you're like a guide, like a professional guide in the outdoors, but you're a guide into the human heart. And you go in there with your headlamp and you fight all these little demons or whatever, and it's scary. but you figure it out and you come back and then you take people through it through your story. They don't feel scared because you're leading the way because you've already been there before, and then they can find their way because they went with you through, you know what I mean? I was like, what? So this is this kinds of conversation. Like anytime I was talking to someone trying to figure out like, what am I? You know, like I'm a writer. Okay, and I'm a storyteller, but I'm an outdoorsy person, and now I live in France. But I'm like, you know, a climber and an adventure guy, but I worked in the film industry, and I've been single most of my life. But wait, now I'm married. You know, you don't even know what I am. This man can summarize all this amazing crap about me like that. And that's what a partner should do. That's what I do for him too. I see parts of himself that he forgets or doesn't even realize, and I help reflect that back to him. So all of the months of conversations and thinking and brainstorming, and he found the photographer. He went looking for all these, you know, he was online searching for the perfect photographer. He compiled a list of like 20 people. You know, we went through the website. He told me which ones he thought would work best. And then, of course, I got to make the final call. He's currently doing the same thing with an illustrator because we want to like make stuff. Whatever. TBD. I don't know if you realize how much language is exhausting for him to translate everything going on in Melanie's like ridiculously chaotic brain, to put that into emails back and forth, put that in emails with everyone that we have been talking to. It's a lot of work. And then he did all the logistics too. He went and picked up the dress, and then the next day he went and picked up another shirt. He hates malls as much as I do, y'all. He found the dog sitter, you know, reached out to a bunch, did all those, you know, like he found the things that women are told we have to do. And then he arranged when the dog sitter is going to come over here so we can meet them and have a greet with the dog, see if they get along. You know, and like he made sure that she knew where, I mean, like he did all the things that I've been told my whole life and just can't do. And the most important part is the emotional labor part. Not only can he anticipate my needs and anticipate me having a meltdown before I even see it coming, he also knows how, I mean, I had several panic attacks in the last couple weeks and about multiple things going on that I'm struggling with. This shoot seemed to really, you know, provoke a lot of like crap. And he talked me down, massaged my forehead, caressed my arms, you know, all these things to like comfort me because he knew that this is like a lot of pressure. And he wanted to make sure that I showed up yesterday in my best form. He's the one who reminded me I probably should get some sleep that night. Because you know me, I mean, I just be on TikTok till 4 a.m, you know, great idea before a shoot. I'm in a moment right now where I'm having to do a whole lot of stuff. He's taking care of everything. He drove us there. He figured out parking, figured out what time to leave. He figured out what time the dog sitter could. He took the dog sitter on a walk so she could see all the, you know what I mean? He did all the things so that when I showed up yesterday, I was in my best form. I was able to shine yesterday and thrive yesterday and even have fun because of all of the labor that he put in. So men can do this. They may not be great at it in the beginning, but where there's a will, there's a way. If men can mastermind affairs, I promise you, they can mastermind setting a woman up for success that they are crazy about. And men hate my husband. Like not most men, none of the men that he is involved with, none of his friends or anything like that. But men on the internet, on a regular basis, I have to block because they're like, your husband's gay. Because loving a woman is somehow gay. Or, you know, he is, you know, whipped. Some not, they're so not creative. Can't stand him because he shows women who put up with endless crap from men that men are doing this on purpose, that men should be doing better. And if they're not, that should be a problem. And if they really want to be a good partner, they can. They'd rather sit back and do nothing and let you do everything because they've convinced us that, well, they just don't know how. Men are dumb. And finally, what I've realized today is maybe one of the equally as important. There are some men who follow me, it's very few. If you follow me and I haven't blocked you yet, it's because you're not leaving nonsense in my comments. I appreciate that. So this is a note for you. What I realized today, that I almost never see men give credit to their partners who made their successful career happen. You know, they may thank them when they get their Oscar, be like, you know, behind every successful man, you know, whatever. Women's labor and any kind of like emotional labor and stuff that has been like gendered as women's labor is so not appreciated or valued. It is just a given. And I want men to more thoughtfully give credit where credit is due. If your career is thriving and you know it's because your wife is doing so much free labor, even though it's worth gold, it is worth gold. And y'all, how dare y'all call us gold diggers? You are mining for our gold all the time. If you're thriving because a woman has paused her career or does all of this emotional labor and all of this domestic labor and all of this mental load all these things so that you can stand in the spotlight and get your little award and be so successful. You need to remind people on a regular basis you couldn't do it without all that labor. Y'all are a team. Don't ever take her labor for granted. Okay?